logistics sector in the country and in relation to the global situation?
You want to talk about the latest scenario, what is happening? Yes, Indian logistics segment, no doubt it is undergoing the slowdown, no doubt about it. It is undergoing the slowdown. But again, we coming to the Indian logistics. There's a huge, according to me, there is a huge gap between what they can do and they have been doing. Latest studies and some studies done in the back suggested we spend almost 13% of the GDP on the logistics. Now, some of these is as infrastructure bottleneck. You come to Bombay, a truck has to stand for on Oxtra Naka for almost 8 hours before it can enter the city. This all adds up to the cost. These things, some of these things politically motivated, which cannot be altered, but still logistics segment alone can do something to reduce the cost. I give you a simple example. In Chennai itself, Toyota Kirloskar, as you know, they have a factory near Chennai, and their logistics service provider is DHL Lemur. Now, as you know, in case of Camry or in case of other cars, they are actually important CKD kits or SKD kits or these some kits format. Number of items per bill of entries are huge. Now, imagine earlier they used to enter the whole thing. Okay, one person used to sit in front of computer and enter each and every item of the invoice. Now, each and every item of invoice means running in thousands and thousands of items. It used to take not in hours but in days. So we help them to link these two. Means Toyota Kirloskar now sends the data electronically. DHL Lemur reads the data into their system, again the package which we have provided them. Now this day's work have been reduced to almost few seconds. Now imagine the cost saving involved. So what I'm trying to make over here is कि in spite of the infrastructural bottlenecks which is there, and where companies may find themselves absolutely they cannot help it, but they still can reduce the cost if they use IT also properly. And there exactly our kind of a company comes in. And if you talk about current global scenario, again there is a huge 13% which is wasted. Now from whose pocket this 13% is coming? Obviously from the exporter's pocket, from the importer's pocket, because ultimately logistic company is going to recover from somebody's pocket. And this adds up to our costing, whether it's an exporter, it's add up. Now this cost can reduce, and if this reduces, imagine the part of the money can come into the logistic people and part of the money can go to the exporters themselves, and in turn it can make our country much you can say competitive in the international market. And we have got a very we send mango. Now imagine the mangoes also. How these things are sold. There is no cold chain, there is no proper harvesting. We year round we eat Chinese apple which is supplied to you year long without any problem, and it is as crisp as you can, but there is no taste. Imagine the Kunnur apple, what you get from the your Shimla and your Srinagar, Kashmir. It is very well tasty, but you get it only for a period of time. After that you don't get it. Now this thing can be exported, and this will benefit not only the logistic companies. Everybody is saying slow down, but these things can be done. And some of these things maybe even these companies can do themselves to reduce the cost, and which will enhance their business.